Good morning, friends. Today we are going to take a review of the all the previous lectures of the course Artificial Intelligence. As explained in the previous lecture, the examination scheme is as usual. In semester examination is for 30 marks and end semester examination for 70 marks. And there are no practicals for this subject in our curriculum. The course objectives I explained, we are going to learn the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. We are going to get the insight into the programming, little bit programming of AI agents. Then we are going to also understand the concepts of machine learning and pattern recognition as well as natural language processing, because these fields are booming in a very rapid manner, and these are the need of the hour in the today's technological world. Machine learning, remember these words, pattern recognition and natural language processing, NLP. Now we are also going to cover in this particular course the numerous applications, and we need to find out or understand what are the huge possibilities that the AI field can grow. The course outcomes are the students will be able to design and implement key components of intelligent agents and expert system at the end of this course. They are also able to apply the representation techniques, problem solving strategies, which are quite common in AI applications. You are also will be able to apply and integrate various artificial intelligence techniques in developing the intelligent systems. Then you will be able to build rule based and other knowledge intensive problem solvers. I explained in the previous lectures, two textbooks are very important if you want to learn the fundamentals of AI. The one book is of Stuart Russell and Peter Norvig from the Pearson Education publisher, and the second book is also very useful, that is Ellen Reich book and Kevin Knight book, that is from Tata McGraw-Hill. The first unit in our syllabus is the name is Foundations, and the syllabus contains following points: intelligent agents and the environments, which we covered in the previous lectures. Intelligent agent, you know that agent is nothing but a machine, or it can be a robot, or it can be a program, which can behave like a human for a given task for which it is designed. For example, intelligent agent is designed for the cleaning the rooms, so it will behave like a human being in that respect. Agent can be created for any application depending upon the requirement, that means, and accordingly you have to program that agent, you have to add the intelligence into that agent, and then after that agent will work in the given environment. Okay, so this point is covered, but we will take a review of these points as well. Then nature of environment, that means we are going to cover in this particular part the types of environment in which the agent has to work. That means whether the environment is clear to the agent, or it is partially observable, or it is some other kinds of issues are there. Then structure of agent also we are going to cover. Then problem solving agents, some few examples we are going to explore. Then what are the various searching techniques or strategies in order to solve the problems, which are the searching techniques or searching strategies the agent can follow. Okay, so well known strategies are, there are two categories: uninformed search category and informed search strategies. And then at the end, 2 points are there in syllabus: avoiding repeated states and searching with partial information. This is all about regarding the unit 1 syllabus, that is foundations. That means foundations of AI is covered in unit number 1, because without agent, without type of environment, without means searching strategies, the foundation of AI is incomplete. That is why the name of this unit is Foundations. Outline of this presentation, obviously first few slides are for learning or teaching the fundamentals of AI, which is obviously not a part of syllabus points, but these are required in order to get the idea about the syllabus. So at the end, at the start, we are going to cover what exactly AI is, why AI is required, what are the various standard definitions of AI, what are the various historical points, which are the components of AI, which are the application areas of AI, and then from point number 6 you can find agents and environment, good behavior. All these are the points listed in the syllabus. So what exactly the need of AI? The objective of AI is to explore the ways onto a machine that can reason like a human, think like a human, and act like a human, which we already discussed. The AI approach is nothing but to train the machine. Once the machine is trained, once the agent is trained, machine means what? Agent, or agent can be a machine, it can be a robot, it can be a computer program. Once you train that with the same capabilities as of human brain, then automatically machine will do the task which you kept in mind while designing that machine. AI strives to build intelligent agent entities as well as understand them. Another reason to study AI is that these developed or designed agents are interesting and useful there in their own areas, has significant and impressive products AI has developed even at the early stage of its rise. Although no one can predict the future in detail, it is clear that computers with human level intelligence would have a huge impact on our everyday lives, as well as on the future course of civilization. As we have discussed that AI can create the intelligent machines, intelligent agents. Therefore, many of the human tasks will be handled, will be covered, or will be completed, or will be executed by the machines, by the agents. That is why the future course of civilization is going to be very good, and therefore it has a large impact. AI is going to have very large impact on future course of civilization, because in the future, coming future, most of the human works will be handled and covered by or executed by the machines, intelligent agents. That is why this point is there. AI is one of the newest discipline along with modern genetics. It is regularly cited as field I would like to be in. That means most of the scientists in other disciplines, in other areas, now want to get shifted into AI domain, because AI is the newest discipline, and there is a lot of work to do in this domain. A lot of fundamentals, lot of new technologies are coming in this AI, so there is a broad scope. So that's why scientists in the other disciplines also need to go into the AI. Also, they dream to work in AI domain. And the next point is, for example, the physics students, they always dream to get some innovations in their career, but as they are bothering about that in physics, for example, in physics field, Galileo, Newton, Einstein, all these scientists has almost discovered everything. So there is nothing left to discover for those students, today's students in physics. That's why they also dream to go into the AI. That is also the need for them. That's why AI is required. AI, on the other hand, still has openings for full-time Einsteins. Speaking in more specific words, AI can be used to make an intelligent decisions as compared to human beings. Means as like a human being. AI can be used to analyze data more deeply. AI can be used to maintain security and privacy of data more effectively and efficiently. AI can be used to create expert systems having the capability to explain and give advice to the users. For example, the medical diagnosis system assists the doctors to give the decision regarding the diseases. Okay, diagnosis of diseases. So experts, that is called as expert system. So expert system is based on AI, which will assist the domain experts to take the decision. For example, medical field. AI can also be used to speed up the work performance. Whatever most of the complex tasks which a human being cannot perform, that can be performed by the intelligent AI agents, as well as the speed of performance means the work capability or work capacity of many times human cannot perform the work in a large amount or in a faster way, but in those areas it is found that intelligent agents can do the work with a very high speed. And the diagram tells you the whole scenario. Human being is shown and one machine is shown, and the human being generally does the various tasks in day-to-day life, but somewhere it strucks, that means it cannot do particular task. In that case, that particular task the machine can do. Definitions of AI. There are so many definitions of AI in the literature, but we are going to cover few definitions, selected definitions. The first definition, the exciting new effort to make the computers think, machines with minds in the full and literal sense. Second, the art of creating machines. AI means what? AI means art. It is the art. It is a technique. It is the art of creating machines that perform functions that require intelligence when performed by the people. The third, the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models. And the last, the branch of computer science that is concerned with automation of intelligent behavior. So any definition if you use while defining the AI, there is no problem. Or you can create your own definition as well, no problem. The categories of definitions mentioned in the Russell book. The first column you can find is human behavior, and second column is rational behavior. Human behavior is obviously we know that many times we take the decisions based on the previous history. Okay, and we always behave in a most best possible option we generally choose as a human being, because we may have the previous history, and that is called human behavior. Rational behavior means what? The best, not best, but good decision. The rational behavior means good decision the machine has taken. The good decision may not be the best, but it is good as compared to the other decisions. This is called as rational behavior. And if you take the rows, then you can find thinking and acting. In the first row means the machine can only think. In the second row, if you closely observe, it can act, it can take the actions. Okay, that means the first row tells you that the machine can think like human behavior, and act second row, it can act like a human being. So let us come to the first column, human behavior, and simultaneously you have to look on column as well as row. Thinking humanly. First you go through the first column. Thinking humanly means machines that think intelligently like humans, because the first cell comes in the first column, first row. So first category is machines that think intelligently like human. If you take the second cell in the first column, you will find machines that perform, does the action, it perform the activities that human consider as intelligent. Okay, now you go to the second column, third cell, thinking rationally. That means machines that only think rationally. It cannot perform actions, but it can think rationally. Rationally means in a good manner, not in a best manner, but in a good manner. Rationally means in a good manner, not in a best manner. The fourth cell, acting rationally. Okay, acting means machine now perform actions, but those actions are rational actions. Rational means good. It is obviously, I just explained in the few minutes before. The rational action cannot be the most of the time not the best, but it is good. Okay. So these are the four categories of definitions. Most of the AI researchers, whatever they define the AI, all those definitions can be grouped into these four categories. These are the historical points of AI. You can find that AI is started in 1923, but the major breakthrough for the AI domain is obtained in 1950. But before that also AI has some roots in the history. So we can find in 1950 the Alan Turing was the scientist who broke the communications of Germans during World War II. World War II. And thereafter, in 1950, in one very important conference, Datamouth conference, he published one research paper, and the title of that research paper was Whether the Machine Can Think. Can Machine Think? And the whole world started working in this direction. This is the historical points. You can Google it, so you will get the detailed discussion of all these points. But it is the scope of this particular lecture, so I am not going to cover. In order to just give you the glimpse of what happened in AI domain in the history. That is why this slide is kept in the PPT. In 1971 something happened, in 1985, 1990, 1997, 2000. Okay. Now coming to the typical AI problems. AI nowadays is utilized in planning the route during driving, navigating around the obstacles on the street. Navigation means on the which particular path we should go, whether there are obstacles in particular path or not. In this way, the navigation is also possible while driving with the help of AI. And in the previous lectures, obviously, I gave you the example of Tesla cars. Those cars are autonomous car. That means driverless cars. There is no driver in those cars, and around 50,000 cars are running on the Arizona state of US. They automatically plan the routes. They automatically avoid the obstacles. They automatically reach the destinations. Okay, so all these points are related with such examples. So typical AI problems are these, and these are being solved step by step by the world. Recognizing people and objects. Many times for example, in one society, or in one large IT industry or software or some other company, many times the administrator want to give the gate pass to the only authorized person. In such case, at the gate itself, one expert system is attached, which is based on AI in most of the companies, that takes the that works on the iris recognition or face recognition, and database is created in that software, and if the person is authorized, then and then only he is allowed to go inside the company. This particular area is recognizing people and objects. It is in broader sense, this particular area is called as pattern recognition. Then next point is communicating through natural language. And in the previous lecture, I gave you the example of Google Assistant. As soon as you put some query on Google Assistants of your Google, then automatically it solves that problem. It gives you the response within a fractions of second. In this particular scenario, you communicated with the your Google Assistant in your own natural language, and within fractions of second you got the response to your query. This is possible only with the help of AI. Medical diagnosis. In most of the reputed hospitals, you will find that doctors are assisted by the intelligent agents in diagnosis of the patients. And mathematical problem solving, many mathematical problems nowadays are possible to be solved with the help of intelligent agents based on AI fundamentals. State of art of AI, autonomous planning and scheduling. What can AI do today? Autonomous planning and scheduling. One example is NASA sent a remote agent. This their mission onboard autonomous planning was possible. This means they sent a spacecraft on Mars, and with the help of AI fundamentals, the planning, the route planning of those that spacecraft was possible with the help of AI. Then game playing. IBM developed one program in 1995, and based on the AI fundamentals regarding chess game, that particular intelligent program defeated the world champion of that time. So that is also possible. That was also possible with the help of AI. Autonomous control. Automatically, the means just you can take the example of Tesla cars. Autonomously it is controlling the car, and it reaches the destination. So these are just examples. You have to only remember that what AI can do now: autonomous planning and scheduling. It can do the game playing. It can do the autonomous control. It can also assist in diagnosis in the hospitals. Logistic planning is also one area where AI can be useful. For example, one example I quoted here, in 1991, US forces developed one system which was useful to handle 50,000 vehicles, cargo, and people at a time, because these are the elements of logistic. So logistic planning is also possible with the help of AI, and that is one example is there in 1991 US forces did that particular task, logistic planning, with the help of AI fundamentals. Robotics, many robots are there nowadays in hospitals, in the shopping malls, even in the at home or in the industries, that helps the patients as well as customers, and those robots are based on AI fundamentals. So robotics also is one of the important area where AI is possible. Components of AI means what? What components makes the AI to act like a human? Okay, components means which are those components which can make the AI to think like a human, to work like a human. Okay, so we know that in the previous lecture we discussed what are the important personal traits, human being traits of humans, which makes them intelligent, which makes human beings intelligent. If human beings are having reasoning ability, problem solving ability, knowledge representation, means it can represent the knowledge in front of the others so that the others can understand his language. So planning, human being can also do the planning. Human being can learn from the past, learn from the history, so that the future course of decisions will not be wrong. So human has the ability to learn. Human has the ability to process the data, process the natural language data. It can process. That means what? If somebody speaks, if I am speaking with you through this lecture, you understand my language. That means you are processing my voice. That means you are doing natural language processing. So you are having that ability of natural language processing. Human being can do the perception. That means ability of machine to use input from sensors, microphones, vehicles, wireless signals, etc., to understand the environment. Perception. So human has the ability to perceive. That means, for example, human has ears. Human being has eyes are there. Then taste buds are there in the tongue. So with the help of these sensors, human being can perceive the world around it. world around it. Okay, so human being has which abilities human being has? It has reasoning ability, problem solving ability, knowledge representation, it has the ability to plan. Human being has the ability to learn. It can do the natural language processing as well as it can do the perception. If all of these or some of these traits, if we can add into the machines, into the agent, so then automatically that machine or agent will become intelligent. Okay, that means then we can say that that machine or agent is now intelligent agent. Okay, so whenever we want to put these traits of human being into the machine, then we can say that we are using the components of AI or fundamentals of AI. So what are the components of AI? Reasoning, problem solving, knowledge representation, planning, learning, NLP and perception. So this diagram shows you components: reasoning, intelligence, learning, perception, problem solving. If you add these components, some of the components or all of the components in your agent, in your machine, then your machine will behave, think or act like a human being. These are the two categories of AI: weak AI and strong AI. Weak AI it is also known as narrow AI, which is designed to perform specific task. It acts like it can think. It acts like thinking. So strong AI means it is also known as artificial intelligence, which has generalized human cognitive abilities. It is intelligent enough to find a solution. Now what exactly the meaning of this? Weak AI means if the AI system can only think like a human, then such all those application comes under weak AI application. Strong AI application means those applications which can think like human as well as act like human as well as solve the problems. Okay, if all of these actions, if your application can do, then it comes under strong AI. So today we will stop here. We have taken the review of AI fundamentals, need of AI. We have taken the which are the personal traits human being has, and those traits, if we add into the machine, then that will become intelligent agent. So in the next lecture we will cover intelligent agents and types of environments. Thank you.